Among the large crowd of people, I met Andres Martin, who's an educator, full of emotion. He tells me there's a lot of anxiety among students.
A lot of anxiety, a lot of families.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest stories shaping our world. Today we are talking about something that is shaking America to its core: mass deportations and the ICE raids targeting immigrant communities. Families are being separated, protests are erupting, and a new bill in Oklahoma is sparking outrage by labeling Hispanic people as terrorists. How did we get here, and what does this mean for the future? Stay tuned because this is a conversation we all need to have. Let's get into it.
I don't understand. I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
Among the large crowd of people, I met Andres Martin, who's an educator, full of emotion. He tells me there's a lot of anxiety among students.
A lot of anxiety, a lot of families that are going through a lot. As an educator, as a parent, this right here hurts me to see what our kids are going through.
Meantime, Mexico's government
Ice, ice, baby. Don't forget about the rest of the immigrants are here illegally, like the fucking Chinese people. If those Chinese motherfucking people are here illegally, I want those motherfuckers gone more than I want the motherfucking Spanish people gone. Cause those motherfuckers, You got a motherfucker coming here from China, all the way from another country to come help another country protest in our country? Disrespecting our country? You fucking illegal immigrant Chinese motherfuckers need to get the fuck out of this country. And immediately. Donald Trump, it's not just about Spanish people being illegal. You need to get rid of every fucking illegal motherfucker here, especially the Chinese. Especially them. They're COVID ass. Fucking 19 fucking supplying asses.
Bitch, just say you don't like gay people and move on. You voted for Trump because you don't like gay people and you hate women. Just say that, babes. Because your whole excuse about, oh, he has Christian values, this, that, or the other. Bitch, where? He didn't even put his hand on the fucking Bible, bitch. So I really would love to know your response on how this person is a Christian person and promotes Christian values. This man has literally raped women, has been convicted on multiple felonies. O sea, and you see how many innocent people are being detained and deported. Like, you see this, and yet you still stand by this person. Nobody is gonna come to inside a fucking bathroom and fucking do anything to a fucking child because it hasn't fucking happened. You know what has happened though? Are regular ass men raping, touching children, pedophilia, all of that is recorded. But you're focused on the trans people.
I'm sorry to be the girl crying on the internet. That priest, I don't know if she was a priest, the lady who led the church service during the inauguration, wept when I saw that because it was like, that was so brave. I'm sorry, I'm a blubbering mess. It's just, I don't understand. I'm just weeping for humanity. They're just so fucking angry. There's just so much hypocrisy everywhere. That a priest would stand up in a church service and say, hey, maybe don't go around smashing to pieces the more vulnerable in society. Maybe also think about others. Maybe, have some fucking empathy. And then everyone stands up and is like, ugh, what are you talking about? Whilst claiming religion as part of your movement. I remember in school when learning about World War II being like, how could this have happened? How could people have let it happen? How could the people around all of this situation let a part of society be targeted in that way? And now I'm like, oh, okay, I see. People in Britain, now is not the time to be silent. I see there are people that are still like, oh, nothing's happening. Yeah, that website's disappeared that's, the body that helps women with reproductive health care. I don't think he's actually going to go into schools with ICE. And I don't actually think that salute is what you're all saying it was. Okay. If you don't choose to get off of whatever fence you're sitting on, you might blink and the world around you is going to look incredibly frightening.
I did not vote. My husband did not vote. We both decided not to vote because I wasn't going to vote for either one of them. I did not agree with Kamala's whole thing, and I didn't agree with a lot of things that Trump was saying, so I preferred not to vote. And I'm so happy that I didn't vote because on top of the fact that he was already crazy, as soon as he stepped into office, he went ballistic. Like, he went wild. And this whole situation is just messed up. And honestly, he's not doing any good for the American people either. You know what I mean? He's everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting it. He is freezing federal funding, even for the American people. He's deporting families. He is doing all this crazy, wild things that are only going to benefit who? Who is it going to benefit? And then all these people are saying, yeah, our tax dollars are paying for their government assistance. Okay, maybe so. But there are a lot of people who do need to be on government assistance. It's not like they just give them out to whomever. It's so hard to get on food stamps. It's hard to get any assistance. Because even when you're making minimum wage, they make it very difficult. Even when you're not working, they make it very difficult. They want to know, how are you supporting yourself? Who's giving you money? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, okay, free for all, food stamps. No, it's not like that. It's also not easy for a person that doesn't have papers to get food stamps or to get on any government assistance. When they come here, they have to work. They work. And that's something that we can't say about a lot of American citizens. Okay, so they work. So I just think that it's crazy that they're trying to use that as an excuse. Oh, they come here, they take our jobs, and they get on assistance, and they do all these things. How? And then how is it fair that these kids that have been going to school here all their lives now have to be traumatized by ICE going to their schools, yanked out of the country that they grew up in, and now they have to start over in a place that that they're not used to? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. I lived in Mexico for a long time. My kids attended school in Mexico just for like a year. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the same. Okay, it's a whole different experience. It's not like they're going from one school to another like they would here. No. It's different. It's a whole different culture. So, like, you know what I mean? It's sad. It's sad because the kids are not guilty of anything. And they grow up here. They have their friends here. They're used to the whole education system here and the way things run here. And now they have to start over. Even if it's their country, it's not. You know what I mean? That's what's heartbreaking. And then a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of people agree with it. A lot of people think that it's okay. Where's your heart? Where is your heart? Okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's good that they're not going to be separated from their families, that they're going to be together, because I know that there's a lot of kids who have been separated from their families. They end up in foster care and things like that, and that's also heartbreaking. But are you thinking about the emotional damage on these kids? No. Because y'all don't care. You don't have no heart. And it's just sad to me. Like, if you're a parent, like, how?
I carry a burden within me, a burden ever present as I walk through doors no one before me has, as I make my presence known in halls and rooms undiscovered before, as I speak in languages foreign to my family's tongue. I have to admit, it makes me uncomfortable sometimes, a little bit silly, really. Like, what am I even doing here? I mean, I don't seem to belong. The color of my skin betrays me, because do I deserve to be here? Did I earn it? Or am I just filling up some space, a space called diversity? I know I'll always feel this way, because I don't intend to stop here. As I move on in life, the spaces I will have the privilege to walk through will become more exclusive, more difficult to get used to. Knowing this, I've never once dared to lower my head. Matter of fact, I made sure I hold it up high. Hold on to my pride as I feel their burning stares. It's because I carry a burden. Through my veins runs my blood, blood that carries stories told and untold, stories of perseverance, oppression, strength, illness, resilience, love, stories only my heart knows that are merely reflected in the way that I talk, walk, breathe, live, emphasized by the stories I choose to tell and those I keep in. I come from a line, a culture, a community of hard workers, me of course being the same. So yes, my presence, my opportunities, yes, they were rightly deserved. But also, I'm not afraid to state, it is because I'm Mexican that I am where I am. Headed where I am headed, and will end up where I will end up. Mexico, a land of warriors, full of pride, the land of the hardest workers you will ever come by. A land that raises its children full of love, despite how little they may have. A land full of spirit, resilience with the will to survive. A land that provides not only for itself, but for the rest of the world. And even though I wasn't born and raised in said land, the color of my skin reflects its soil. The way I roll my R's, the songs I sing at the top of my lungs, a national anthem I know by heart. The colors I bleed are red, white, and green. They have made a soldier out of me. In me, I not only carry my lived pain, but that of my mother, and her mother, and her mother, and her mother, and so on. Even more importantly, I carry all of their strength. I possess that Aztec warrior that was and is within them and every child of Mexico. So yes, I am here because I am Mexican. I say that shit with pride, knowing that I can say with certainty that no one outworks us. No one is more willing to sacrifice their comfort for even a chance at survival for themselves or their families. It's in those fathers that wake up at 3 in the morning just to get to work at 5 a.m. and don't get back home until late at night, but still find to spend time with their children and wife. It's in our field workers that put food on your tables while they struggle to put food on theirs. It's in those mothers that teach us what it means to put community and family first. It's in my mother who also had to work from 3 a.m. until 11 p.m. to give me opportunities she never had. A decision she made when she crossed the border 5 months pregnant with me, just so I could be born on land that actually used to be ours. And even though when telling these stories, we are the ones that are forgotten, I'ma say it. It's in the children of immigrants, those who had to translate documents for our parents all the time, even though we barely understood. It's in the child of immigrants who never had the privilege to be a kid because they too were working alongside their parents harder than any white man ever did. I know I did. It's in the child of immigrants who never asked for help, because more than the fact that our parents would never understand, it's the fact that they were too tired and already carried too much on their hands. It's in the child of immigrants who need to make all their sacrifices worth it, because we are well aware that the American dream did not end with our parents. It passed on to us. It's up to us to fulfill it. It's in the child of immigrants who live in constant fear of one day not seeing their parents and is prepared for when that day comes. I know I was. And there are kids living it today. It's in the Mexican American that defies the odds, refuses to become a statistic, and graduates high school, even more so when they pursue a higher education not thought possible. So, as the whole world watches in silence, as violence and hate tear our community apart, cutting through the root of our existence, our families.
I really feel compelled to just put a piece of my mind out there, whoever watches, whoever cares. But this whole deportation, immigration topic that everyone's been talking about is just absurd. This is just crazy. I remember this happening a couple years back. I was younger. You know, I'm 31 now. And I feel like it wasn't as bad as it is right now. I'm so grateful for all the people like working in hospitals that are helping the Hispanic community, same as the cops, and same as other people in different businesses. But just how there are a lot of people helping now more than ever, there's so many other people that are, you know, going against the Hispanic community at this time. I just saw the thing that legit broke me, was learning that in Oklahoma, you know, kids that are immigrants and that their parents are immigrants, they aren't going to be able to go to school anymore. That shit fucking broke me to my core, because whenever I came here, I was in 2nd grade. I didn't know any English. I knew I was different, and I knew I had to like work twice as hard as everybody else to be better, because I knew I was just different, right? And that's why I worked so hard in not trying to have an accent or whatever, you know, to learn really perfect English, so they wouldn't be able to differentiate me, or what is that word? I can't even think about it. Like, they wouldn't be able to tell I was different. And just to know that now they're targeting the kids, they can't even go to daycares now, like, that's what hurts me. If my mom was like, sorry baby girl, like, ya no puedes ir a la escuela, like, I couldn't even imagine. It's just so ugly. And the saddest thing is that Latinos voted for this to happen. The fucking irony, bitch. The fucking irony. It's fucking sickening.
Man, this is really hard to watch. Families are being separated, people are being rounded up like criminals, an entire community are living in fear. For years we have heard Trump talk about mass deportations, but now that is actually happening. The reality is devastating. I keep thinking about the people who believe Trump was only talking tough to get votes, the ones who said, oh, he's just bluffing, or he only means the criminals. Well, here we are. Mass raids, family ripped apart, parents being detained in front of their kids, and not just those with criminal records, regular hardworking people who have built lives here for decades. Some of them have no ties to the countries they are being sent back to. Imagine being forced out of the only home you have known, with no warning, no time to prepare, and no way to fight back. And what is even wider, some of the same people who supported this administration are now realizing too late what they actually signed up for. I saw someone comment, Latinos for Trump will be studied in history books, and honestly, they are right. How do you vote for a man who has spent years demoralizing immigrants and then act surprised when he follows through? There were so many warnings, so many moments when he made it clear exactly what he planned to do. From the way he talked about immigrants, calling them criminals, saying they were bringing drugs and bringing crimes, to the policy he pushed, none of this should be shocking. But now some of his own supporters are feeling the consequences, and is hitting them differently. It's one thing to cheer for tough immigration policy when you think it won't affect you, but when your own friends and families are suddenly in danger, now it's real. And let's talk about the fear. Imagine waking up every day wondering if today's the day ICE knocks on your door, wondering if you would come home from work and find your spouse missing, if you will go to school and never see your parents again. The trauma this is causing for kids alone is heartbreaking. Some of these kids are US citizens, but their parents hasn't. So what happens to them? They get thrown into a broker foster system. They are left to fend for themselves. It's horrifying. I saw another comment that really stuck with me. My kids are half Mexican. Their people are my people, and we stand with you. We love you all. That is the kind of solidarity we need right now, because this isn't just a Latino issue, this is a human rights issue, and anyone with heart should be outraged. It doesn't matter if you are Mexican, Guatemala, Honduras, or if you have no personal connection to the immigrant communities, what's happening is cruel and it should matter to everyone. And we can talk about Selena Gomez. Seeing her break down over this, it just shows how deeply this is affecting people. She's one of the biggest Latino celebrities in the world, and she's watching her community suffer. I think people underestimate how much pain this is causing. This isn't just about policy, it's about real people, real families, real lives being destroyed. When someone like Selena, who has so much privilege and success, is sitting there in tears, it's because she knows no amount of money or fame can erase the pain of seeing your people go through this. But in the middle of all this heartbreak, there is also a resistance. People are not taking this laying down. The protests happening right now, they are powerful. And finally, the peaceful protests, the Mexicans are protesting, and they should be. The whole country should be, because let's be real, Mexicans and other immigrant communities have helped build this country. They are the backbone of so many industries: agriculture, construction, food services, healthcare, and yet they are treated like disposable labor. Like they are only welcome when the work is needed. But the moment they ask for rights, for humanity, suddenly they are a problem. That is why these protests matter. People are showing up, speaking out, and making it clear they will not be erased. And let's talk about what is next, because this isn't the end. This is just the beginning if Trump is willing to go this far for now. Imagine what happens if they wins again. Imagine what happens if people don't push back hard enough. We have seen where this road leads, and history tells us that when you start demobilizing one group, it never stops there. So if you are watching this and thinking, well, I'm not immigrant, this doesn't affect me, think again. This is about what kind of country we want to live in. One where we tear families apart and traumatize children, or one where we fight for justice, for decency, for basic human rights. Because the way I see it, this isn't just about immigration, it's about who we are as a people. And I hope history remembers who stood up and who stayed silent. Thank you for watching, and let's us continue this conversation in the comment below. Let us share our thoughts and perspective with one another. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on this story and more. I will see you in the next video.